Hello students, welcome to class. So in this class we are going to start with another poem, that is poem number 2.6, Money, written by William Davis. So this is the last poem from your course book, as the next two poems, that is poem number 2.7, She Walks in Beauty, and poem 2.8, Small Town and Rivers, have been deleted from your course due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So let's start. We'll start with the introduction of the poem. So, this poem indicates the determination of a poet who wants to be poor to seek eternal pleasure of life. Importance of money can be realized in poor economical condition only. The friends rich by heart are better than rich by money. Materialistic pleasure vanishes in the flow of time, but eternal pleasure remains as it is. Money can't give you eternal happiness. Poor people laugh freely with their little earning and few friends. In richness, a lot of friends of poet remained false and untrue. But in poverty, friends were few, but true. So, the poem helps us to look at money and how it is connected to true happiness and false friends. So, now we'll start with the introduction of the poet. The name of the poet is William Davis. He was a Welsh poet and writer. He spent a significant part of his life as a tramp in the UK and USA. He became a peddler and street singer in England. After several years of wandering in life, he published his first volume, The Soul Destroyer and Other Poems. Now we shall start with the poem. So here comes poem number 2.6, William Davis. The first stanza is, When I had money, money, oh, I knew no joy till I went poor. For many a false man as a friend came knocking all day at my door. So, in the first stanza, the poet confesses that when his life was enriched with money, he was far away from the eternal joy and true happiness. So, poet wants to be poor to receive the real pleasure of life. He says in richness, he had a lot of friends who always used to meet him. So, this is the first stanza. The second stanza is, Then felt I like a child that holds a trumpet that he must not blow. Because a man is dead, I dared not to speak to let this false world know. So, as you all know, trumpet is a musical instrument. So, while leading a life of richness, the life of poet was abundant with many restrictions. So, poet compared his life with a boy having a strong desire to blow trumpet, but due to the circumference and manners, he can't do it. So, according to the poet, a true feeling of happiness is buried under the false status of richness. Now, he says, being poor, he wants to lead a happy life. The poet doesn't want to utter any words about his condition to the world because the world is under the influence of false thinking of happiness. According to the norms of world happiness, the world thinks that happiness can be bought by money. So, richness is directly compared with happiness, which remained untrue according to the poet. Here comes the third stanza. Much have I thought of life and seen how poor men's hearts are ever light, and how their wives do hum like bees about their work from morn till night. So, hum means sing with closed lips. This is a sound which the honeybees make. So, in the third stanza, poet has observed and learned the aspect of life minutely. He observed that heart of a poor person is more delighted and contented though they earn little penny each day. Poet by heart is impressed by the little activity of poor person which is full of happiness and apart from rich person. The wives of poor person are complaining and humming like bees about the efforts taken by their husbands from morning till evening. Poor persons are struggling to get penny and save it, but the wives have to take more effort to maintain the household work. They don't have enough money to spend. Poet is strongly fascinated by such behavior and circumstances. So now comes the fourth stanza. So when I hear these poor ones laugh and see the rich ones coldly frown, poor men think I need not go up so much as rich men should come down. So, in this stanza, poet has felt the touch difference between the laugh of poor people and the rich ones. Poor people laugh without any hesitation. It is a free laugh and which comes from the bottom of the heart. On the other side, rich people laugh, but it is cold and ambiguous. Poet pointed out that rich person are far away from the real happiness. They left behind the true happiness in search of more and more money. Poor people are happy with their daily earnings and are closely connected to the eternal joy of soul. So, poet suggested that rich people wanted to go down to be in touch with eternal happiness of soul. Now comes the last stanza of the poem. When I had money my many friends proved all untrue. But now I have no money my friends are real, though very few. So this poem is written by William Davis. So now what the poet wants to tell us in the last stanza is that in this stanza the poet has compared his economical condition with the past. In past he possessed sufficient money to spend having more friends in life. But these friends were not true because their friendship was shafted on money. So these friends proved untrue. In present life, poet is poor, having no sufficient money to spend. In this stage, he has a very few friends, but all of his friends are true and real. So this is the explanation of the poem 2.6 Money. So now let's summarize the complete poem. William Davis, at the very beginning of the poem, Money, states that he had no happiness when he had money. He had to keep it hidden from those who pretended to be his friends. He felt like a child who was given a trumpet but told he cannot blow it because there has been a death. He was afraid of being cheated by those who call themselves his friends. Since then, he has pondered on the true meaning of life. He has watched how those who do not possess money are light-hearted and their family is happy. Poor men are able to laugh easily while the rich are worried. This makes the poet wonder that it is the rich who should experience poverty and not the poor who should become rich. He again emphasizes that when he was rich, the people who claimed to be friends were actually false. Now that he has no money, he has real friends, but they are fewer. So this is the complete summary of the poem. So as we have seen in the poem, इसमें विलियम डेविस ने हमें इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ मनी के बारे में बताया है एंड उसका जो सिग्निफिकेंस होता है फॉर रियल हैप्पीनेस एंड फॉर फेक हैप्पीनेस, इसका जो सिग्निफिकेंस है हमें बताया गया है. सो विलियम डेविस कहते हैं कि जब वो अमीर थे, जब उनके पास बहुत पैसा था, सो उनके पास बहुत सारे फ्रेंड्स भी थे, लेकिन उनके पास फ्रेंड्स तो थे ही, लेकिन उनके पास जो है रियल हैप्पीनेस, जो ट्रू हैप्पीनेस हम कहते हैं, वो उनके पास नहीं थी. और वो ये कहते थे कि उन्हें हमेशा डर लगा रहता था कि कोई उन्हें धोखा ना दे दे, क्योंकि उन्हें ऐसा लगता था कि उनके दोस्तों की जो फ्रेंडशिप है वो उनके पैसों से है, ना कि उनसे. सो इसीलिए उन्होंने फिर बहुत सोचा और उन्होंने ये डिसाइड किया कि अब मैं अपनी ज़िंदगी का ट्रू मीनिंग, सच्चा मतलब क्या है, मैं उसे अब खोजूंगा. सो देन वो रियलाइज़ करते हैं कि मनी जो है ये बहुत ही एक ऐसी चीज़ है जो अगर हम जिसके पीछे भागते हैं सो हम हमारी जो हैप्पीनेस है, ट्रू हैप्पीनेस है, उसको हम पीछे छोड़ देते हैं. सो यहाँ पे वो कंपेयर करते हैं पुअर और रिच को. सो वो कहते हैं कि जब हम गरीबों को देखते हैं तो हम ये देखते हैं कि वो बहुत ही लाइट हार्टेड होते हैं और वो छोटी छोटी चीज़ों में बहुत खुश हो जाते हैं, और वो कोई भी छोटा काम करते हैं तो वो भी काम वो मिल बांट के करते हैं और हर छोटी चीज़ में से वो खुशियाँ हासिल करने की कोशिश करते हैं. अब वहीं पे वहाँ पे वो रिच पीपल को कंपेयर करते हैं और कहते हैं कि अगर कोई छोटी चीज़ से भी उन्हें खुशी मिलती है तो वो उसमें खुश नहीं होते हैं, बल्कि वो और चीज़ें हासिल करने के पीछे वो छोटी छोटी खुशियों को पीछे छोड़ देते हैं या उन छोटी खुशियों को जीना वो भूल जाते हैं. और वो कहते हैं कि इसीलिए मैं चाहता हूँ कि जो अमीर है वो पॉवर्टी एक्सपीरियंस करे और उस लेवल की खुशियाँ जो है, जो हमें गरीबी में जो छोटी छोटी चीज़ों में खुशियाँ मिलती है वो एक्सपीरियंस करे, ना कि मैं ऐसा चाहूँ कि जो गरीब है वो अपनी खुशियाँ छोड़ के अमीर बन जाए. सो वो एम्फसाइज़ करते हैं कि गरीबी में हमारे पास जो दोस्त होते हैं वो हमारे पैसों के लिए नहीं होते हैं, क्योंकि गरीबी में हमारे पास उतना पैसा नहीं होता है, लेकिन फिर भी हमारे पास जो दोस्त होते हैं वो सारे सच्चे दोस्त होते हैं और उनकी दोस्ती ना कि हमारे पैसों से बल्कि हमसे होती है. सो दिस इज़ पर्टिकुलरली emphasized in the poem Money, written by William Davis. So now we'll move on to the appreciation of the poem. So the appreciation is given to you based on the title, poet, poem, theme, poetic style and language. So in these you are required to elaborate at least for 1 or 2 sentences for each point. So we'll just go through some of them. So the title is the key to the general meaning or the summary of the poem. The title of the poem, Money, gives us a hint that the poem is about the disadvantages of having money. Next comes about the poet. So you can write any 2 to 3 lines about the poet. Then about the poem, that it is a narrative poem. Okay, so in this the narrator experiences the real happiness of the life after becoming poor. Okay, so the narrator also expresses that he had always untrue friends when he was rich. It's only after getting poor he experiences the love of true friends, though they may be few. Next comes the theme. So the theme is very important. So in the theme you have to mention the central idea of the poem. So the theme of the poem is the dual aspect of money. Then comes the poetic style or the language that has been used in the poem. So we can say that the poem consists of 5 stanzas having 4 lines each. The rhyme scheme can be stated as ABCB. Then comes poetic devices, special features, moral and opinion. So poetic devices, in this you are required to mention the figure of speech you come across in the poem. So we can see inversion, repetition, antithesis, simile, onomatopoeia. We can see these many figures of speech in the poem. Now come the salient features, or we can say the special features of the poem. So the special feature of the poem is its difference between the happiness of poor and rich. Also we can see the difference between friends, okay? Then comes moral. Moral is the values which we get from the poem, or the message that we get from the poem. So the message of the poem is that to experience true joy and happiness, one need not be rich and wealthy. It is not necessary for the poor to become rich as necessary it is for the rich to become poor. One can actually enjoy true happiness when one becomes poor. So now comes the last point, that is opinion. So in this you are supposed to write it by your own also. If you wish to note down which I have written, so you can see that I like this poem because it reveals the real worth of money. It also clarifies the false and fake beliefs about the rich and the poor. Understanding the real worth of people, true happiness and value of money in an early age is actually a blessing. This poem certainly teaches a valuable life lesson to all. So this is an example of opinion. In opinion, you are required to appreciate the poem. Okay, so you have to write a positive opinion for the same. Now here we have completed the appreciation, so we'll move on to the next topic. Next comes the figures of speech. So first one is, felt I like a child, I think. So it is an example of inversion. So inversion, what do you mean by inversion? So in inversion, the correct order of sentences is reversed. Okay, so here we can see that the correct order of words should be I felt like a child, I think. Then next comes, much have I thought of life. So this is also inversion because the correct order of the sentence is reversed. So what should be the correct order? So the correct order of words should be I have thought much of life. Then third one is like a child. So like a child, it's an example of simile because the poet has compared himself with a child. Wives do hum like bees about their work. So this is also simile because the wives of poor men are as busy as bees in their work. Next comes, when I had money, money oh. So it is repetition because the word money is repeated. Next comes, do hum like bees. So it is onomatopoeia. So you can see the sound of humming is given there. So whichever sound we come across is the figure of speech called onomatopoeia. Then 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, these all are antithesis. Okay, so antithesis means opposite ideas. Okay, so first we can see the quality of friends is supposed to be sincere and loyal, but they are described as opposite, false and untrue. Next is the poor smile or laugh and the rich frown. So this is opposite of what we expect. Okay, then the rich must know simplicity, says the poet. The opposite of what we say, that the poor must come up in life. So antithesis means opposite ideas which comes in a sentence. So I think here we have completed with the figures of speech. So here we come to an end of the poetry section. we have completed poems from poem number 2.1, Song of the Open Road, till poem number 2.6, Money. So kindly go through the poems once again for better results. Okay, so we'll see you all in the next class. Till then, goodbye, take care.